Well, hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Her Story Beyond the Sale, you guys. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Miss Anna Henry. She is an amazing lady, first of all. I cannot wait for you to really hear her story because it's really going to frame the piece of I'm too busy, right? I say this a lot to people. People make time for what's important to them. And you're going to find through hearing Anna's journey how she does just that. So I'd love to welcome Anna Henry to my podcast today. And I'd love to just have Anna introduce herself and just share a little bit about yourself, Anna, like where are you from? What do you do? And a little bit about your family. And then we'll move on from there. So hello, hey, hi, welcome.
All right. Hi, Lori. Thanks so much. I'm so excited to be here. Hey, everyone. My name is Anna Henry. I am a pediatric special needs nurse, a mom and bonus mom to 8 kids, a wife. I have 2 network marketing businesses that I run. And, I'm just so excited that Lori had me on today to just share with you all that if it is important to you and you want to reach other women who are like-minded and that you will make time in your life to do that. I will tell you, being on this journey of entrepreneur journey, it has taken me down this whole new road of self-discovery, and I would not trade it for the world.
I love that so much. Anna, I got a question for you. So first of all, how did you get involved in network marketing? Was it to do with product or was it to do with a business opportunity? What led you to that? Because you're a nurse, and you're a nurse for babies and pediatric, and you have a big job, a big career, as people would think, well, why would she do one of those things, right? So what was it that led you to discover in a network marketing? And had you always been open to things like this, or were you more like, no, I am all set with whatever she's peddling over there? How did that work out for you?
So I am a nurse and a mom. I'm constantly pouring into others and giving to others, giving my time to others. And I really was in a position in my life where I needed something for myself and I needed to find myself. And I did fall in love with the product, but it took me about a good 6 to 8 months to really come around to the idea that I could do it too.
Mhm.
Because I did have some fears behind it, like anybody probably does.
Mhm.
But just realizing that I was more than just a mom and I deserve to like pour into myself and do something that I could just call mine
Yeah.
really ignited me and pushed me to just take the plunge and just dive in feet first.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, and I love that you shared that you maybe weren't ready to have a thriving business in the beginning, right? Because again, this is a real viable business. It's an opportunity, so you have to learn. And so when you join something that you have no idea what's happening, sometimes people do want to sit back and just kind of watch, right? Watch on the sidelines, like, what did I even get myself into here? I don't even know what's happening. All I know is I love something so much, and I want to share it with other people, right? And
Yeah.
so when you say you had a little bit of fear, was it more about what maybe people would think about you because you came from a nursing background and that you were a mom? Or what was the fear? Was it belief in yourself? If you could talk a little bit through that, that would be, I think that's really important for women to hear because I think we all start from a place of fear when it's something new, no matter what it is. So
Absolutely. Yes. Sorry about that.
that's
I
okay, really.
actually, yes. So I actually, I struggled a lot with self-doubt and mindset. I didn't have that belief in myself, and that's just something that I've had to work through. But I learned early on, first of all, whenever I started, my goal was to just have fun with it. I said, I'm
Yeah.
going to do this. I'm going to have fun with this because this is mine and this
Mhm.
is not anyone else's. They can't take it away from me. So that was my main focus was number one, having fun and sharing with my friends. Of course, I dove into all the trainings and did all the things. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I learned as I went and I took imperfect action. And that's what it really takes to just learn and do your best and grow. You're never going to do anything the right way first, but that's how we learn as human beings.
Mhm.
And it's just taking that action and maybe borrowing someone else's belief in you for a little while until you have your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hear that a lot in network marketing is borrowing somebody else's belief. And sometimes people don't really know how to dive into self-development. And another thing we talk about a lot is this is almost like self-development with a paycheck, right? Because as you grow, your business grows and you're like, ooh, I didn't
Yes.
know if I said that over and over in my head, my brain would actually start to believe I was amazing. Like it's really, really cool. Who are some of who do you love to like dive into when you're going to do self-development, or is something you're looking at right now? Anything special or exciting you like to share? You have a fave?
Um, uh, could you repeat that one more time?
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, no problem. As far as self-development goes, like who are you loving right now? Who do you love to dive into? Like, what are you reading a special book, or do you listen to Audible? How do you like to consume that stuff?
I do love Audible. I love Audible because we're all busy. And
Mhm.
I've always been one that likes a hard copy book, honestly.
Yeah,
And it took me a long time to transition over into Audible. But I'm always in the car, being a
yeah,
mom and just running around from sporting events. It's easier for me to absorb all of that in the car when I can listen to it. I absolutely adore Cynthia Stant.
hmm,
And her Inner Feminine Beast brand. And I love everything she represents. She is one of my go-tos when I need to be uplifted or learn something new, or just hear something different and be inspired. Or
yeah,
Sarah Glenn, my girl Sarah Glenn. I love listening to her podcast. She is incredible. And then the last that I will mention is Louise Hay. She actually that's how I started my self discovery, self growth journey, was through one of her books that
yeah.
just really inspired me to love myself.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I'm glad that you mentioned the other two because they're not like as mainstream as say Mel Robbins or like right now I'm learning with Jamie Kern Lima, who's absolutely amazing. I don't know if you know her story, but she just wrote a book called Believe It, and then now I'm reading the second book, Worthy. She came to my company's conference and talked to us. She is the creator of It Cosmetics. I didn't know who she was until a couple months ago. Yeah. So if you're looking for something new, I highly recommend that lady as well. She is incredible, and she's just a regular woman, but now turned billionaire. So she's pretty cool. And I love that too. I love to feel inspired. I mean, we can't do that work for other people, but once you start diving down and deep into yourself, you become your own beast. Talk about feminine beast. Like you become your own beast, right? Um,
Yes.
so so that's amazing. So do you lead a team now, or are you more
Yeah.
doing you have a team now? Yep. And
Yes.
do you work with a lot of women that are looking to grow something substantial, or more like you in the beginning, they kind of want to have fun and have something of their own?
Right now with the economy the way it is, there are so many women that I'm helping just to help bring in extra income to make their lives a little bit more comfortable right now.
Yeah.
And, with the potential there, obviously, to grow into something bigger. Um, I'm actually really excited and hopeful to go full time in direct sales coming soon, maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
So I would definitely, and bringing my team along with me. And if that's, I hope they can follow my lead and
Mhm.
dream bigger.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you touched on that because I think so many women, I mean, I'm in my 50s. I'm not sure how old you are, but I think just so many women, they want something more, but they're just not really sure what it is. And they have that passion inside of them. And they want to have that purpose. And I feel like when they find a company that they love, because there are so many out there, Anna and I are not in the same company. And so I love to keep this more generic on that because I want people to be able to do their homework, right, and do their due diligence. I joined 5 at once to find the one that I'm in now, that I'm never leaving. But that's the point. Like I really did my homework on where I belonged and what felt good to me and what fit in for me. So I know that there's a lot of women out there right now that are just looking for something more, to have that purpose and that passion for something that they can call their own, right? But as you as being a mom and a nurse, I want to touch on that. Like How do you fit this in to your life when you are like, I don't know how often you're nursing or how often you're momming, but how do you fit it in? Because I find that a lot of times women will use that as a cover or a shield of, oh, I just don't have the time. And I'll tell you what I think about that after you share with us. How do you find the time to work a business to a level that you could retire from nursing?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because actually, whenever I first started my journey in direct sales, I was working 60 plus hours a week and not having a lot of time with my family. And I meant to mention this earlier, so I'm glad it circled back around because I was looking for also at that time for a solution to be able to spend more time at home with my family. And once I started direct sales, after just a few short months, I was able to cut my hours down to under 40 hours a week.
That's
so
awesome.
Shaved over 20 hours off of my work week. And I was able to be there for those precious moments. I had a 1-year-old when I first started, and life goes by so fast.
Yeah.
But I just have always looked at it as my career, not as an option. If you
Yeah.
you really got to get your mindset right around it,
Yeah.
and you got to look at it like this is something that this is what I'm called to do. This is what I want to do. So I got to show up. If I want to see the results, I have to show up and take action, and I have to be there. And consistency is truly the key to success here in direct sales, among other things. But consistency has gotten me so far in the last 3 years, or nearly 3 years. And I just could not imagine not being in this in this area.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. And being consistent, like, so people understand what that means. It's not sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day or trying to find 3 hours at night and 6 hours before your day starts. It's doing things here and there throughout your day. Or do you have a scheduled amount of time that you work your business? How do you balance that at home around everything?
Right. So I just like you said, I just find pockets in my day throughout my day that I can spend 5 or 10 minutes on certain things, whether it's reaching out, whether it's following up, or whatever I need to tackle. If I need to get some parties on the books, that's what I focus on. And I'll typically spend, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes here and there, or 5 to 10 minutes here and there throughout my day, a little in the morning, a little before bed, and just space it out. Because, we're all busy and we've got a lot going on, and
Yeah.
you just got to
Yeah.
find time, because the time is there. We all have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Do it.
And like you just said, if you want to treat it like a hobby, it can surely give you some extra money for maybe your own product or maybe a new pair of shoes here and there, maybe have your nails done, your hair done. But if you want to treat it as a replacement for AKA a nurse salary, or I was a full-time busy hairdresser for 30 years. I have a friend that was a pilot, like who's replaced their income with network marketing money, then you do have to treat it like you would never open a pizza shop or a yoga studio and show up once in a while. And sometimes you're there and sometimes the doors close. And hey, I do sometimes come in on Tuesday, but the next 3 Tuesdays I decided to go to the beach. Like you can't do that, right? So I wish that, so I'm trying here with this podcast to normalize this career for women, because if you think about direct sales, right? Anna and I now just chatting women to women. That's what I love about this podcast. We've never even actually met in person or really even had a conversation before this. But if you sit and talk to people, they don't think that this is a real business, right? Because it's been known as one of those things. And that's where I think a lot of fear comes in of somebody like a nurse or a doctor or a pilot joining one of those things, because it could be beneath them, or that's what people think, right? But if you think of it as this, what's a franchise? You literally give somebody $1 million to have a storefront business, and you have to pay them royalties every single month. So you're giving them money back that you're making, right? The owner of the franchise. And you have to be there strapped to that storefront, brick and mortar business 7 days a week. With network marketing, you're actually buying into a franchise pretty much for less than $1,000, all told in every single pretty much space that I know in network marketing. to start with a kit, right? It's not an investment into the company, it's an investment into you for products and things that you're going to share with other people. And you get to grow a business that could yield you more money than a McDonald's or a donut store or a yada, 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 yada. But you're doing this all through either outlets of, like Anna said, sometimes she's got a party on the books. Sometimes it's through social media. Yesterday I met 3 people at the grocery store that I approached and talked to about my business because I'm open to it. I'm listening. I'm always aware because it's in my life, right? And I'm trying to help people just like you. So I think if more people viewed this as a real business model, because all we're doing is taking a product that somebody else put the time and the money into creating, and we're getting to market it, brand it, whatever you want to call it, right? But we don't have to give back like franchises. I had a friend that owned a McDonald's and a friend that owned a couple of other franchise like businesses. And every month they have to pay royalties back to the owner of the franchise after investing. So with what we do, it's just such a simple process, but I feel like people overcomplicate it. Do you feel like that when you talk to people, when they say to you, like, is it one of those things? Is this a scam or is it a pyramid? How does that make you feel when you hear that? I know, right? I had to ask.
Yeah, luckily, I honestly have not ran into that too often. But I try to just educate people, like, there's an actual real product here, so there's no scam, like,
Yes,
there's
yes,
no scam when there's a real product involved. This is not,
yeah,
this is not like that.
yeah,
But it's people get all these ideas and beliefs in their heads that, something is one way. And it's not until maybe they've experienced for themselves or, had the opportunity to talk to somebody to really break things down for them and learn more and be open-minded.
yeah.
I lost my train of thought there for a second.
Being
Shoot.
open-minded to the opportunity of network marketing in general is kind of what you're saying. Once they're open-minded to the opportunity of it, maybe
Yes.
am I finding your train of thought for you?
Yes, I think so. But there may have been a second part to your question
Yeah.
too that I missed. But
No, that's okay. I just was curious, like, so you might not get it a lot anymore because I think that network marketing is really coming around to being a real option for business and creating money for the household, right? Like, say you weren't a nurse, just say you didn't have that salary, and say you had these kids at home. Like, what would you ever have done I mean, you've got kids that you have to pay for. They're expensive. Like, some
yeah.
moms have 2 kids and they can't afford sports or dance or, I've been talking to a lot of single moms lately, and I don't understand how they afford to even put food or internet on in their home. I don't get it.
The need for multiple streams of income right now is needed more than ever before. And I think what I was going to mention before it came back to me. This is really the business of building relationships. And network marketing isn't always about sales. People get hung up. Well, I'm not a salesperson. Well, you don't have to be a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I mean, I am a salesperson, but you don't have to be salesy about it. It's all about building connections with women who you can relate to. I cannot tell you how many friends that I have made in this industry over the last nearly 3 years that and the relationships that we have, and we talk almost, on a regular basis, maybe not every day, but on a regular basis. And I have never met more beautiful human beings ever in my life than I have here in this industry. I'm just going to bring tears to my eyes because it's so amazing. I love the relationship building part of this, and I love connecting with new people. And I just want to help other moms that maybe can relate to me, just make a difference in their lives, because life is expensive. And if I wasn't a nurse, I would be definitely working 2, maybe 3 jobs to support our family,
Yeah, no, I love that. That's so true. Life is expensive. So so do you have anything? So speaking of fear, we spoke about time freedom. We spoke about working on ourselves. We spoke about the fact that it's sometimes people can get crazy thoughts in their head of what it may or may not be. And that comes true from just the belief in yourself. I believe belief in you. Like, what could I really do? Could I really get this to grow and work? Going back to the beginning, I love that you said that you took those months in the beginning to kind of evaluate if this was something you wanted to do and turn it into a business. Now, 3 years later, so you've been really active for probably about 2 years growing your business, and you're almost looking at retirement from nursing. So I just want to give you a huge hand for that, because community now, like you said, now you were a nurse during COVID. You dealt with so much heartache, I'm sure, and just and being nervous to probably even be around your own family and things like that, leaving the hospital. I don't know. Are you in a hospital setting?
I'm actually not in a hospital setting. I was very fortunate during COVID, and I'm so thankful and blessed to be where I'm at. I've been with a home health company taking care of pediatric special needs kids for
Yeah.
almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years in June that I've been with them, but they are still like the kids that I take care of are very immune compromised. So it was a very, very scary time for us because, we were sanitizing and masking and really watching if we didn't have to go somewhere, we weren't going anywhere, so it was a scary time because you didn't want to bring, go out and bring something back into their household, so
Yeah,
it was,
and then in your own household. I had a
yeah.
lot of nurse friends at the time that were like staying at hotels and not going home, and it was, my heart broke for y'all because you're such in a vulnerable spot, right? But at least now you have a choice. Like, would I ever go back to a pandemic? Maybe you would because you want to help, but then on the other hand, maybe you wouldn't because you want to keep your own self and your family safe, right? You have that option. And that's what I love about network marketing. I'm in an older bracket of women than you, I'm sure, because we're well, different ages, but I look like I'm a grandmother. And I told you earlier, I have my grandson today, so I didn't realize you were in CST and I was in EST. But the beautiful thing is I could balance it and make it work, right? I'm so blessed to be home and help my own daughter, because if she had to pay for daycare to go to work, which she, funny enough, is a hairdresser like I was, she wouldn't be able to afford it. Like, she wouldn't be able to afford childcare. And so we just talked a little bit about community and about relationships. So I have to tell you, I met your friend Sarah, which I love her to death, down in Florida in May last year, because we went on a retreat for women in business, and I got to meet her and a whole bunch of other ladies. I will tell you that the best part for me in network marketing is absolutely relationships. I've met some of my best friends, like you said, here, and I think when you're around like-minded people that want more for you and want to lift you up high, it's just a whole nother level of girl friendship.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can feel you're feeling that emotionally inside of you. But it's such a whole nother level of women lifting up women, because when I first started in network marketing, I had friends that weren't happy with what I was doing. I think that they thought I was going to become more or become better, and they weren't ready to do that yet. And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, right? We often think that everybody or anybody that complained or needs money could do it, but it's really not for everybody. It takes a certain person, but anybody can do it. I think anybody can do it. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely agree. Anybody can do it, and they just have to, want to, for one, they have to want something more for themselves, and then um, really have somebody believing in them. I think that goes a long ways because, like you mentioned, a lot of times we all experience when our friends and family project their fears and their doubts onto us because maybe they don't want to see us fail, or they
Yeah.
have their own insecurities that they're projecting over onto us. And then, they just shut that part of our lives off from them, and they're not supportive or whatever the case may be. So I think it's really important to really have a leader that will believe in you and that will really guide you and help you along the way until you can find that own, your own spark.
Hmm. Yeah, that's so true. And having someone pour into you it helps you to understand, because I do work with a lot of women that are like, well, my friends aren't even wanting to look at my product. And my husband told me that I'm spending too much time, and like they're conflicted a little bit in the beginning. But when they find their own footing, and somebody says to them, hey, I hear you, I understand. And here's how I handled it, or I understand, and here's how I handled it. and then you can find that path that just fits best for you. It's so true. It's so true. I feel that like now I'm getting goosebumps thinking of that, because I just hate to see so many women that have so much to give have somebody else doubt them enough that it shakes them out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
because it takes years to grow and mold and become, a better version of yourself. And honestly, who really cares how long it takes if you're in a supportive, positive environment? Like, this is never an overnight business, it's an overtime business. And you're growing at a different rate, but you can learn and earn at the same time too. So I do love that. What is one of your most, what can you share that is one of your most favorite moments in one of your companies? I don't know how many companies you've been in before, but like something that just really brought you so much joy. You were like, yeah, this is it. This is where I want to be. Did you earn trips? Have you had a trophy? Did you get on the stage? Did you have something with a coworker? Like, what was it that really inspired you to just keep pushing through?
Well, haven't won trips or been on stage or anything like that yet, but I know that I will eventually get to that point. So okay, so in this new business that I have ventured into just a few months ago, so this has made a huge impact on my career. And the support that I have in this newer company that I've partnered with has been beyond anything that I have ever like experienced before, right? And what I think moves me the most is the fact that I have the vice president of the company and my direct leader, both checking in with me on a monthly basis as I'm ranking up, as I've hit my top sales month in January ever in network marketing, almost 6,000 in sales in January.
Yeah,
and if anybody knows the stigma around J months, like that's supposed to happen, right?
Yeah, right after Christmas, everybody's broke. All the things. Yeah, you get it.
Yes. And so that was a really like high shining moment for me. And then just growing my team and just seeing that duplication happen and the ranking up. That part for me is just so fulfilling to rank up to that next level and prove to myself like, okay, you did this, girl, and I'm going for another promotion this month. So I'm like,
I love that. I love that, Anna. That's so amazing. Like for you, and it doesn't have to be any of those things I mentioned. I love to ask my guests, because I've had guests on here that have said, oh, I earned my first $1 million, or I've done, and I think women need to hear that those things are possible, right? So it can be here and it can be here. It doesn't matter where your journey is in network marketing. It's just that you're doing it and you're doing the work, and the ranking up is amazing. And we call rank ups or things like that if you're not familiar with it. It's more of like a measurement of where you are in your business, right? Because you're a higher rank doesn't mean you're better than someone that's a lower rank or this a rank or that a rank. It just means that you're able to measure your business and see where you're moving. And I love that. So I think that's amazing. I have a lady that I work with, and I love her to death. She is so funny. I got to meet her for the first time last month, and she's been with me almost a year. And we were talking about this morning, as a matter of fact. And she said, I said, well, when did you start to get serious? She goes, for me, it was when I got to meet you and be around some other women, and I feel like it built my confidence. And she said, now, and last month for her, same type of a thing. She had 5 new customers for the first time ever. She said to me, it's like a drug, like I'm feeling it. And today she's like calling, like it's just making her feel good inside. And so I love that you're sharing that and that you're ranking up. And I want to give you a huge congratulations. And I know what that feels like. It's amazing. I'm able to go to the owner of my company's house and be around that fire. And when you're around that fire, it just burns so bright inside of you. Right. So to have the vice president and your upline calling you and checking in, it just brings a certain pep in your step. You can't really describe it. Like they're like, what is Anna doing today?
Yes, exactly.
So I love that. I love that for you. That's awesome.
Thank
Do you have any parting words that you would love to leave ladies with that might be home, just really wanting more for themselves and really wanting to to step up and say, you know what? I want to do this and I'm not going to let someone talk me out of it. Do you have any parting words? We're already at 30 minutes, believe it or not. I told you this would go fast.
Yes, it did. I think my words of wisdom to anyone who is kind of on the fence and just is maybe undecided and they're just kind of struggling inside with, whether they should do this or not, is just do it. You're not getting any younger, for one. And for two, you may look back 5 years from now and say, why did I not take that opportunity? Why didn't I try? Why didn't I try? Where could I be today? Don't let that be you. Start today. It's not, just get in there and do it. Imperfect action. Just take action on and have fun with it and just go all in. Go all in. That way, in 5 years, even if you have fallen down 100 times in that 5 years and picked yourself back up and brushed yourself off, at least you can say that you tried.
Yeah.
And you took the chance on yourself. Or in 5 years, maybe you're like at the beach, taking a vacation that's completely paid for, you never know. You never know.
And that goes along with that what if I fail? Well, what if you fly, darling? I love that quote. I had it posted the other day. It's like, what if you don't take that chance on yourself? Like, if you have that yearning in you, I say, go find somebody, talk to them, get all the information you can, find the company, to ask to talk to the owner if you have to, like, get in there and really do your investigating on who you can align with and partner with to help you just feel your best. But I agree with you. Just what if, and what if in 5 years you fall down 100 times? So did Michael Jordan. So did everybody else out there. But the difference is they just kept getting back up. I mean, the worst that can happen is you improve on the inside, I think, right?
Yes.
You improve and you grow, you stretch a little bit. So Anna, well, thank you so much for being here today. You are amazing. I hope to have you back someday. I can't wait to hear when you were on my podcast saying, you know what, I was able to leave that job, and I'm just super happy, and I'm rising women up, and everything's amazing. So I want to just thank you for taking time today to come by and just chat with us here. I know you could be doing so many other things, but I think it's important for us to inspire women outside of our companies that are just thinking about it, because this career is so rewarding. It's just so rewarding inside. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.